When done properly, impact picking and vibration picking can be one of the fastest ways to open a lock. These methods are also beneficial because they require less skill. These methods work on most pin tumblers. Law enforcement officers or other professionals who must open locks in emergencies when time is critical will use this method. They may often have other issues to worry about and do not have the time or inclination to learn the more subtle aspects of the art of lockpicking. You can generally pick up the right tool and use it effectively after some experimentation. Experience is still very important for you to have the right touch. These tools do require, though, a lock that is susceptible to these methods. You will need to have an appropriate pick gun. This is a tool you hold in one hand that usually has a lever or trigger that you squeeze with your fingers to provide a vibrating or snapping action. Remember that you still need to use a torque wrench with these devices. Place the pick gun all the way into the keyway. Insert the torque wrench, applying a rotating pressure on the wrench, and squeeze the trigger. Do not move the gun vertically or laterally while picking. As the pick strikes the pins and knocks them upward, use your torque wrench to cause the plug to catch the top pins as they jump into the hole casing. This method uses a snapping motion. A flat tool accelerates toward the pins and strikes them all simultaneously. The physics is similar to billiard balls or those desk toys that have one marble swing and hit a second. The momentum from the first ball is completely absorbed and passed to the second, which moves on roughly with the same speed, leaving the first ball in place. This is what the impact attempts to do. It impacts the tips of the bottom pins with just enough force to knock them into the top pins, thus knocking the top pins up into the hull. The lower pins themselves hopefully stay down, because they imparted all of their energy into the top pin. You really don't have to know all of this theory to effectively use a vibration or impact tool. Just put it in the keyway, pull the trigger, and rotate your torque wrench at just the right time. You must be sure to make contact with each of the pins. When using an impact tool, make certain that you impact the center of each of the pins exactly straight on and at the same time. This means the blade must be exactly parallel to the keyway. Some tools have angled blades to allow holding the tool at an angle if space is tight. These will require a bit more practice to ensure that the blade is always parallel and strikes all pins simultaneously. Different locks will require a different amount of force for their pins to bounce properly. The locks must also be in good working order. If the lock is dirty, the pins may be unable to bounce freely inside their chambers.